My DGen family, what's up, guys? What's going on? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good morning, good morning. JASMY pulling back to the 30-day SMA so far today, eh? How about that as a buying opportunity? I'd buy that for $1. Look at that. Crazy wick to the upside. Now we're down here testing the 30-day SMA as support. I was thinking earlier today, guys, this morning, I got to be honest with you, it kind of feels like, so I covered a story the day before yesterday from Benjamin Cowan, right? I don't know if you recall that or not, but he was reading the history of the last bull run, and what ended up happening is that we had Bitcoin suck the life out of the altcoins in November of last year, or the last bull run, sorry. And then it was like a V-shaped recovery immediately after that. In the end of November, beginning of December. So what we might end up seeing here is something similar to that. That's what Benjamin Cowan thinks is going to happen. As Bitcoin continues to run to the upside, it might suck the oxygen out of the room for the altcoins. So we might see the altcoins take a little bit of a dip here, which is kind of what we're seeing on some of them, right? Well, most of them across the board. So in the meantime, guys, we just gotta either do one of two things, right? It's not financial advice, but we got to do one of two things. Well, one of three things, really. We either got to dollar cost average and continue to scoop up these lows while we have them, because we're not going to have them much longer. Or we got to put our phones down, put our portfolios away, and just be patient and, wait for the altcoin season to come. Or we can panic sell everything and chase green candles later and get big red dildos. We can do one of those three things. Little bit of a story for you guys is that yesterday someone had put in the comment section of one of my videos that they actually sold their JASMY, okay? JASMY, a project that has not pumped yet, right? It's waiting for its pump still. It's waiting for its melt up. And put that money from JASMY, which has not pumped, into XRP, which has pumped over 150%. That is a prime example, guys. And I'm not doing this to make fun of the person who did it. I'm using this as a learning lesson, as an example, guys. This is exactly what you don't do, okay? You do not take money out of a project that hasn't pumped yet and put it into a project that just pumped 150%. That is insanity. That is begging to get wrecked, right? Begging to get wrecked. So it's a perfect example of how you don't do that. You're cryptoing wrong if you do that, okay? That's how you lose money in crypto, because now XRP is pulling back. So you sold JASMY where you were pretty much even, and you put that money into XRP, which is pumped, and now it's pulled back. So now you're at a loss, right? Do you see how that works, guys? And then what's going to happen, this person's going to sell their XRP at a loss and try to move back into something else. Guys, that's not how it's done. That's why I say dollar cost average, stick to your plan. Do not deviate from your plan, right? It's unfortunate I hope that this individual does not lose money. I pray that they don't. I wish them the best. That is not a plan that I would do, right? So for now, we wait and we wait and we wait, and that's okay. Let's go have a look at Bitcoin, however. A little bit of a bright spot here for those who are worried. Bitcoin, yep, that's right, put in a brand new all-time high today. So we are still going in the upward trajectory here, guys. And look at this. Look at this perfect shot here. You guys know I put this golden pocket up here a couple of days ago, right? And look, we came right up inside of here, right near the top of the golden pocket, and then wicked back below. Now we're using the bottom part as resistance. So this is between 94 and 95K, guys. And I had said over the last few days, last week or so, that this was going to be a bit of a level of resistance where we may consolidate a little bit. And then what I think is going to happen once we finally do get inside of here, maybe ping pong just a little bit, rejecting off of it and stuff. We're going to come up and we're going to test this $98,000 to $100,000 level for Bitcoin, right? And we're going to reject off of it pretty hard. And then we're probably going to do this, right? We'll reject off it pretty hard. We'll reject off it pretty hard. We'll reject off it pretty hard. Guys, this level's not going to be easy to break. I'm seeing people on YouTube right now, and I'm just kind of puzzled because they're talking about breaking through 100K like it's going to be Swiss cheese or something, right? And they're raising expectations on people that this is going to be easy breezy lemon squeezy, right? And it's not. $100,000 is going to be a very hard level to break through. It's a massive psychological level from the last bull run. People were expecting 100K last bull run. There is a whole lot of shorts. I can't remember how much. I think it's like 100. I think it's like $83 billion, something like. It's a massive amount of money, right? In shorts at $100,000. The bears are going to defend that level fiercely. That's good. This is going to be a battleground right here. In this golden pocket is going to be a battleground between the bulls and the bears for a little while, right? The bulls will eventually win, but it's not going to be as easy as some content creators are telling you that it's going to be, right? So be aware of that, guys. I'm just trying to keep your expectations, tethered to reality, so to speak, right? But very, very bullish, guys. We broke inside here, put in another new all-time high for Bitcoin inside this golden pocket, and this is where we're gonna play around for a little while. So get comfortable, right? Guys, I will get into the chat the second half of the stream. I'm not ignoring you, so just understand that. That's what we do. We go through all the news, and then we get to the chat in the second half of the video of the stream. But I am seeing a general question that people are asking, though, is why are we dumping? Guys, we're dumping because Bitcoin is sucking all of the oxygen out of the room right now. It's taking all the liquidity, and it's all going into Bitcoin right now. That's it. That's what's happening. And I would say that's perfectly normal for this point in the cycle. It's nothing out of the ordinary. It's nothing to panic about. It's nothing to be worried about. It's nothing to be upset about, right? So, again, we can do one of three things. We can dollar cost average, or we can sit down, put our portfolios away, and go to the gym, touch grass, relax, put your feet up, and know that in a couple months you're going to be wealthy, or panic sell, right, and lose everything. I mean, it's really up to you. Me personally, I might dollar cost average a little bit. I haven't decided yet. If I don't, then I'm just going to go to the gym. I'm going to work out legs, and I'm going to touch some grass. Right, that's it. Just going to chill. Let's have a look across the broader market. Have a look at the crypto bubbles. See, look at it. It's a good opportunity to dollar cost average, guys. H-bar is pulling back to 11 cents 9. That's a good entry point, guys. If you missed out on H-bar at 4 cents, H-bar is doing massive things, guys. Massive things. I wouldn't miss the boat on that one. Turbo down to 2075. That's another fantastic entry point. We got some good stuff going, guys. Some good stuff. SEI Network, Ondo, 94 cents. Man, I was telling you guys to pick up Ondo when it was like 60 cents. I hope you guys filled your bags. So yeah, what do we got here? Swift is still up though. Swift was pumping hard last night. It was up like, when I went to bed last night, Swift was up like 15.5%. It was trying to make its run. It's up 30 spots again today. It's up 5.8%. 203464. Swift trying to make a move. JASMY down 10%. Look at that. It'll recover a bit, guys. Like the altcoins, I think this afternoon will probably recover at least a little bit. So, yeah. Reese says things got anything to do with. I think that NVIDIA's earnings tonight is going to actually be probably pretty bullish, and I think that we'll get a pump off of that. To be honest with you, I think we'll get a pump off of that. But that'll be like in the middle of the night, right? So, all right, let's get into some of the news, guys. Let's get into some of the news. So, guys, I talked about this a little bit earlier this morning, but Hara-san says this is mega bullish for me, guys. He says we will continue to work towards expanding our business in Korea, so that we can also expand transactions in KRW in Korea, and to develop our own chain, Janction and JASMY utility that will act as a reserve currency on top of it. Now, I want to check something out here real quick, guys. I want to show you something. If I can find, yes, here we are. Now check this out. Going back to Korea, so Hara just said that they want to continue to expand their footprint in South Korea, right? With this new partnership with Upbit Korea, which is the largest exchange in Korea. Okay, so that's big news, guys, because JASMY, what they like to do is they like to partner with exchanges to get the exchanges to lock tokens up. That's what they've been doing with the exchanges in Japan. I'm sure they want to do something similar here. And just a little refresher here, guys, from May of this year, Janction and C2E sign a strategic partnership MOU to expand business and Japanese between the Japanese and Korean markets. So Jasmy Labs, the company behind the Layer 2 blockchain Janction, specialized in data utilization. We don't need to know where the head office is. The operator of Web3 C2E is an anonymous bulletin board for 4 million users in Korea. Guys, if you recall, I talked about this in May, that Jasmy and Janction were looking to onboard over 4 million users from C2E in this new partnership announcement from South Korea. And now they've partnered with Upbit, right? Hang on, let me see if I don't have it here. Upbit, okay. So now they've partnered with Upbit in South Korea once again, and so Upbit has over 9 million users. Okay, that's a total of 13 million users in South Korea that they're looking to onboard, guys. Right? And if you're wondering what I'm talking about when it comes to onboarding, I'm talking about the PDL, right? So every person that uses the PDL has to lock up JASMY token, taking them out of circulation, increasing the value of the tokens in your wallet. Okay, and the goal is to have 107 million active PDL addresses globally by 2026. That's the KPI goals of the company, right? So this brings us one giant step closer to that, you guys. That's why this is big. And Hara had spoken back in May in the article that I just showed you about how they plan on expanding very, very bigly into South Korea. And this is just one more step forward into doing that, right? So, so absolutely. I mean, as you can see, Hara's initial announcement, he had said, see, that's the first announcement, but he said over here today, he says, we look forward to working with you in Korea, not only for investments, but also for business, right? Also for business. Now, there's one more thing I wanted to show you on this, guys, that's just crazy. And I want to know what he means by this. But he says, develop our own chain Janction, which they're doing, okay? The JASMY utility that will act as a reserve currency on top of Janction, right? So people who keep saying, well, you know, JASMY and Janction are different, and, you know, JASMY, what's the utility of JASMY is to Janction? In Hara's words, these are Hara's words. These are not my words. These are not some YouTuber's words. These are not some person on X's words. This is Hara himself, okay, saying that JASMY will be the utility token used as the reserve currency on top of Janction, okay? Utility in motion. So there you go, guys, okay? Very, very bullish stuff here, right? Who's got two thumbs and brings you the JASMY Alpha? This guy, right? So Okay, so also more bullish news from Hara. He said, so the other day I showed you guys last week that Hara and Bernard from Junction, every month they send out an invitation for the community to send them questions, okay, that they can answer. So they're doing monthly AMAs for the community, guys. It doesn't get any more transparent than this when it comes to a company. I don't see any other CEO of any blockchain company out there doing this kind of thing on a monthly basis. Send me your questions and I'll do a video answering your questions. Right? So Hara said today we received all the questions that they asked for. They're making a video Hara's making a video to respond to all of the questions that were asked. He says from more than 100 questions, we picked up the most commonly asked questions and we're going to answer them. Please look forward to the video. So probably within the next few days, we should expect a video being released from Hara answering community questions as well. How do people complain about non-transparency with this company? I really don't get it at this point. You're just not paying attention if you don't see the full transparency of this company. It's beyond me. It is beyond me. All right, we got some. Somebody had requested yesterday or the day before that we start giving some Casper Labs updates. So a little bit of a Casper Lab update here. Casper Validator Connect community call. Yesterday, our CTO held the latest Validator Connect community call with our validator community to share several exciting Casper updates. The meeting agenda included validator participation and governance, updates on the upcoming release of Casper 2.0, Hastings, Casper head of engineering, sidecar updates, and open validator Q&A. So there you go, guys. A little bit of an update from the validator meeting on Casper Labs. They're continuing to work, continuing to grind. Very, very bullish. We had a regulations meeting in Congress earlier today, guys. I may record it as a whole and play the whole thing for you guys, but here's Patrick McHenry.
The era of post-financial crisis regulation is over. For the past decade, your agencies have worked to push credit risk out of the banking system. At the same time, you completely missed the interest rate risk on bank balance sheets in March of last year. This led to 3 of the largest bank failures in American history that occurred last year. Time and again, your agencies have also worked to stifle the beneficial role that innovation and technology play in our financial system. It's clear our banking regulators under Democratic leadership have been busy fighting the last war. It's clear our banking regulators under Democrat leadership are working in a different way than Hill Democrats are about these subject matters. Your backward-looking approach to regulation has harmed our financial system, innovation, and consumers. In contrast, the House overwhelmingly voted to reject your approach and embrace an inevitable technology-based future by passing things like FIT 21 to give market regulation to digital assets, which represents the largest rewrite of financial regulation since the passage of Dodd-Frank, and a large bipartisan vote with 2/3 of the House supporting that measure, with 71 Democratic members supporting that legislation in particular. I repeat, the most extensive rewrite of financial regulation since Dodd-Frank passed with overwhelming bipartisan support. That would have been an encouragement for agencies to think differently. We need new technology-based solutions that strengthen our financial system, help consumers, and make our regulators more efficient. Instead of working with Congress to identify these solutions, your agencies have proposed a new regulatory onslaught amounting to a sweeping rewrite of the rules governing U.S. financial institutions. And again, I say that you're working in a different way than my colleagues here in the House and the Senate are trying to operate in a bipartisan way. These proposals frequently included inadequate economic analysis, weak justification, and limited public engagement. Your power grabs not only harm consumers in our financial system, but they also erode the credibility of your historically independent agencies. And that independence is important. First, the Biden administration's politicized partisan regulatory agenda has practically destroyed your agency's credibility with Congress. By skirting congressional oversight and ignoring the will of the people's representatives, you have eroded the trust in your agencies' abilities to act independent of politics. Second, your overreaching in rulemaking diminished your credibility with the courts. This is what you've presided over. Even after the Supreme Court's decision in West Virginia versus the EPA, this administration's regulators are pushing new rules with paltry and sometimes non-existent statutory justifications. Third, the American people have lost trust in our regulators' ability to act in their best interest. This administration's regulators have repeatedly advanced rules that reduce access and increase costs of the financial products used by everyday Americans. Because of your actions, the political independence and authority of your agencies is in danger of being reduced, whether it's by Congress, the president, or the courts. I'm sure my colleagues across the aisle may disagree on certain matters here, so I'll run through a set of facts here. The OCC has been led by an acting head for all 4 years of the Biden administration. Yet, Mr. Hsu, you have gone along with every politicized initiative put forward, and yet the president never put you forward for a nomination. Even though you have enormous credibility, though I disagree with your approach and how you've gone along with the other regulators, and you've not shown independence, but you could have gotten confirmed by a Democratic Senate. Vice Chair Barr, your headline proposal, the Basel III endgame, was rejected by your colleagues and the public. Meanwhile, all 3 banks that failed last year were under Fed supervision, and you are the vice chair for supervision. Chair Grunberg, you are in a league of your own. You failed in your leadership of the
Not
FDIC.
in a good way.
And that will result in a total overhaul of your agency in coming years. So no one who sits in your seat can take the type of actions that you've taken and the abuse that you've rendered to your employees. Resigning in January is too little, too late. That's why Republicans introduced a resolution calling for your immediate termination. Chairman Harper, thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
And as I said at the top, the era of post-financial crisis regulation is over. The evidence is clear. This administration's regulators failed to see it. And unfortunately for you all, it's too late to right this ship. Look forward to the next ship.
He's like, F you, F you, F you, F you. You're cool. I'm out. Oh, that's awesome. You got to love Patrick McHenry, guys. How do you not like Patrick McHenry? Oh, man. Rob T says, Hara saying JASMY being a reserve currency on the Janction chain is a hugely bullish statement. Bitcoin is a reserve currency. Reserve currencies that have a set max supply. Rainmakers, baby. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what I've been saying. All right. What else do we got? Let's get over to Squawk Box, see what's happening. Bitcoin options are live.
So the price of Bitcoin near an all-time high, getting closer now to the $94,000 level. And this happening as ETF options going live, giving investors a new way to hedge their exposure. Kenzie Segalis is here, joins us with more this morning. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Andrew.
So what's going on?
Is what U.S. crypto investors have been waiting for. On Tuesday, the NASDAQ listed options on BlackRock's $44 billion spot Bitcoin ETF. Now, day one of trading showed that more than 80% of options volume were call orders to buy Bitcoin, meaning that investors are betting that the token is poised for even more gains. And this is just the first of the U.S.-based asset issuers to offer options. The other 10 providers will soon follow suit, with several more slated to list on the New York Stock Exchange later today. Now, this is really a significant moment for Bitcoin adoption, because rather than just buying and holding the asset, this next stage is all about creating a new margin framework for Bitcoin so that you can amplify your returns. Being able to hedge positions and make leveraged bets is a big draw both to retail and to institutions. And even though we've seen a lot of trading volume on the CME derivatives exchange, getting options tied to these spot crypto products on the NASDAQ and NYSE is a big unlock for traders, because ultimately, Andrew, a more robust onshore derivatives market is how you attract fresh investment, which is a tailwind for the price of Bitcoin.
It really boggles the mind what I was just thinking about. You could write calls. You could write calls. You could buy puts to protect your downside. You could sell puts to acquire Bitcoin at a lower price than where it is. You can do spreads. You can do straddles. The volatility is so high, the option premiums must be exorbitant. So you could sell options.
But so
you
then
could
the
sell
question is,
call-
does the volatility come down materially?
And that's
It
what
should.
a lot of analysts say
probably
will
should.
happen.
And
Yeah.
if that happens, but does that then put a cap on it, or does that?
Can it happen?
Push
Because
it
that's a
even
tail
higher.
wagging the dog. Because
See what I'm
Bitcoin is
saying?
in here. Yeah, but by definition, Bitcoin has been volatile. Do you think options really could lessen the volatility of the underlying asset?
I mean, that's what some analysts are saying, especially as you build out a more robust market infrastructure around this, you bring in more institutional money. And what I will say in terms of like building out what you can do with these spot crypto products, you've got Grayscale updating its prospectus just this week to do a covered call ETF for Bitcoin. So you're seeing that those are the products that these issuers are indexing toward rather than having, spot funds around all of these altcoins.
Because you just mentioned 80% of the volume is in calls. So that must mean they're rich premiums. And the calls, you could sell those. And if it doesn't hit it, you just keep that premium.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it protects your downside if it goes down a little.
Thank you for coming in.
It's very bullish, guys. That is very, very bullish for Bitcoin and crypto as a whole, guys. I don't know how people are bearish right now. I really don't see it. Watch Your Guru says 39% of Bhutan's GDP is in Bitcoin, totaling $1.14 billion, and people are feeling bearish. How the hell are you feeling bearish? I do not know. Lack of experience in the market, maybe? I don't know. But, all right, what do we got here? Tommy Lee says Bitcoin is a treasury reserve asset, and it's going to $150,000 this year.
Join us now on the markets. Tom Lee, head of research at Fundstrat Global Advisors, chief investment officer at Fundstrat Capital. And the list goes on. And he's a CNBC contributor. First post-election appearance that we've had. You knew Trump was going to win.
Well,
Not many people did.
yes, that's
I'll give you credit. Are you saying you didn't? Maybe you didn't say it in so many words, but you said it.
yes. I'd say that we were placing a lot more weight on what the betting markets were pointing to, and so and we, when we look at all the deltas,
And you
that
saw
would
it in the
lead us
Trump
that
trade,
direction.
and you
Yes.
saw it in Bitcoin,
Correct.
and you saw it in sectors of the market that would benefit from,
That's right.
presumably, but who knows, from a Trump presidency. So 1,500 points a meet out of the gate. More to come, or are we're already there?
I think we need to respect this move. I mean, there was a tremendous rally post-election, and it continued yesterday. I think it really does reflect a lot of money was taken out of the market because of the uncertainty around the election. And now we know that because of policy changes and animal spirits, that this is really going to benefit things like Bitcoin and small caps and regional banks and financials. So I do think there's still a lot of upside. I mean, small caps trade at 10 times median forward earnings. I mean, that's a
So what do you think that should be? 12 times? And what's the opportunity set in your mind?
Well, since 1987, small caps traded on a median PE basis at a premium to the S&P. The S&P is at 17 times. So I think small caps could, in the next couple years, outperform by more than 100%.
And what do you think about some of the macro issues that I think create a different level of uncertainty? We keep talking about the bond market and what that might be saying, what you think is happening with gold. Are the bond vigilantes going to be this governor on whatever you think is going to happen in Washington?
As James Carville famously said, the bond market everyone's scared of the bond market. So that is something we need to watch. But we've had plenty of periods where stocks have risen with bonds rising. And I kind of agree with Powell's assessment that yields have gone up not because of inflation, but because there's sort of a change in growth expectations.
I thought that a sweep was, for either party, was the death knell for the markets and frightening to all involved. And now we're getting a sweep. Why isn't it more frightening? Maybe the sweep the other way would have been a little more frightening to some.
Yeah. I mean, I think part of the reason investors are getting somewhat optimistic is that President Trump is entering office again, but this time with a lot more knowledge of how to build a cabinet and a team. And so in some ways, this would end up being more market friendly. And I think that's why investors are becoming optimistic. I mean, I kind of agree with the idea that there are animal spirits growing.
He'll never be deficit friendly, will he? I mean, he will be deficit friendly. He won't be, if we cut taxes on tips Social Security, overtime, remove the SALT cap, extend the tax cuts. If you do all those things, that seems like
it's going to be very difficult to fix the deficit with just changes in taxes and spending. But it's probably why Bitcoin is kind of interesting here, because it's potentially a treasury reserve asset. And, if Bitcoin rises in price, it actually helps offset the liabilities, which is the deficit.
So you were at 150, I think, on Bitcoin, weren't you? But
yeah.
Not necessarily by the end of this year, or?
I think 6 figures is still possible before the end of the year, yeah.
And then more next year and the year after.
Yeah, I think because now, post-halving and now Bitcoin's becoming a lot more relevant, and I think maybe the regulatory overhang is diminishing, that there's a lot of upside from here, yes.
Okay, S&P, end of next year.
Well, between now and year end, 5 to 10% is probably the base case, just because that's the type of rally post-election, and we have a dovish Fed and, the normal seasonals.
Is that the right move right now for the Fed?
I think inflation fighting war is largely over, and the real rate is still too high. So I agree with Fed's view that we need to move towards neutral, which is towards 3%. So I think it is supportive of markets, and business investment has been constrained. So I think these things are positive.
Let's get those rates down, boys. Let's get those rates down. Guys, listen, I talked about it before. I'm not too sure how likely it is that Bitcoin breaks through 100K so easily before the end of the year. Will it do it? Yes, of course, I think that it will. I think it'll go on way, way higher than 100K. However, in saying that, it's not going to be so easy. There's a lot of sell pressure, a lot of shorts at $100,000. So we'll have to see. Vivek says someone just bought $269 million worth of Bitcoin. They now hold 2.3 billion. Guys, they are continuing to accumulate. The whales, that is, they do not stop, can't stop, won't stop. Bad boy for life. The United States should print $250 billion immediately and buy Bitcoin. The conversation around the United States Bitcoin Strategic Reserve is heating up. Senator Cynthia Lummis has put forward a proposal to put the reserve into action. Donald Trump previously committed to starting the reserve with the 200,000 Bitcoin that the United States already owns. And RFK Jr. has proposed a new plan to start buying Bitcoin every day that would allow the United States to accumulate hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin over time. None of these proposals is going far enough, though. The United States should print $250 billion for the first day of Donald Trump's presidency and put 100% of the proceeds into Bitcoin. Yeah, this is Pompliano trying to pump his own bags, right? That may sound bombastic, but I am dead serious. Let me explain. Bitcoin is becoming a preferred balance sheet asset for various corporations. He's not wrong, including MicroStrategy, which is one of the best performing stocks in 2024. Companies want Bitcoin on their balance sheets because it protects them from the debasement of the dollar, while others having minimal risk due to their decentralized structure. Additionally, there will only be 21 million Bitcoin ever created, so the scarcity of the asset is likely to lead to appreciation in the future. Sorry, I was reading something there. If Bitcoin is a desired balance sheet asset for individuals and corporations, then it will eventually find a way to nation states' balance sheets too. Given that there are only 21 million, it is imperative that the countries act quickly to purchase their share of the coins before someone else buys them. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. This brings me to how much the United States should buy. $250 billion may sound like a big number, but the U.S. government increased the national debt by $850 billion in the last 90 days. So $250 billion is a small number when talking about government finance. The $250 billion could purchase just under 2.8 million Bitcoin at the current $90,000 price. If the U.S. started to purchase Bitcoin, The price of the asset will obviously increase, though. So let's say an average purchasing price of the US dollar Bitcoin around $150. That means $150,000. That means we could buy 1.6 million Bitcoin with our newly printed 250 billion. Add in the 200,000 Bitcoin we hold in the US would immediately be the largest Bitcoin holder in the world with 1.8 million Bitcoin. This is the type of action that would cost us very little financially, but could have a profound impact on our financial health in the future. Bitcoin is a technology product built to protect against currency debasement. The US is currently suffering from that problem. Bitcoin should be our solution. Print $250 billion on day one, purchase Bitcoin immediately. I got to say, I do think he's trying to pump his own bags a little bit, but at the same time, his arguments are in fact very sound. So I cannot argue with that. Right. What else do we have? Charles Hoskinson, once again, he says, guys, Charles Hoskinson is building bridges and is asking the community to stop fudding Solana. Charles Hoskinson is absolutely reaching out to all of the other blockchains. And I think I've been talking a lot lately, especially over on the Patreon, guys, about how we're going to start to see acquisitions and mergers in the crypto space. We already saw it happen with ASI Network, SingularityNet, Ocean, and FET AI. So I think that we're going to see more of these types of mergers. And we know that Cardonzo has been talking with Ripple. Brad Garlinghouse has been talking with, he's connected with Algorand in the past. He's talking with HBAR. He signed an NDA over at SpaceX the other day.
We can't say that anymore, guys. We got to get together. We got to come together. There's a lot of stuff Solana does. That's just fine. There's a lot of stuff Cardano does just fine. And I know I've had my part in all of it. And I do apologize to the Solana community if I've been throughout the years unnecessarily harsh. But we as an ecosystem, we have to be better. And let's stop saying fuck ecosystem XYZ or this ecosystem is worse than us. It's not some zero anymore. These are our partners. These are our customers. These are crypto people just like us. And you know what? We can all work together. And there's a lot of really amazing things that are going to happen in Solana. And I think I might even go to a Solana conference next year, especially with Midnight coming out. And I think it's going to benefit Cardano tremendously by doing so. And I think a lot of Solana people would love to come to a Cardano conference. So I'll throw the gauntlet down. If I go to a Solana conference, Solana people, why don't you come to Rare Evo and spend some time there? I'd love for the Solana Foundation sponsor booth, get to know the Cardano ecosystem. And I'm more than happy to have a Midnight booth be at one of your Solana events. How about that?
Charles Hoskinson building bridges in crypto, guys. This is the unity we need to see in the space. We need to get rid of divisiveness and toxicity in crypto. We need to come together. We're here to make money, not to be high school girls in a locker room, right? So we're not about gossip. We're about making that dollar bills, y'all. Right, what else do we got here? Accurex Pharmaceuticals to add up to $1 million in Bitcoin for their treasury reserve following MicroStrategy's playbook. Guys, do you see what's happening here? Like, I keep showing you these breadcrumbs. Neo, follow the white rabbit, man. Follow the white rabbit. Watch your guru. Bitcoin has a larger market cap than the top 3 banks in the world combined. Bitcoin has a $1.85 trillion market cap. JP Morgan, 684. Bank of America, 356 billion. IC Bank of China, 280 billion. By the way, guys, a little caveat, JP Morgan, yes, the same bank Jamie Dimon runs that says that Bitcoin is just a pet rock and that it's worthless. Yeah, Bitcoin has a bigger market cap than your bank, bro. So have a chill pill, sit down, relax. Nobody cares what you think, brother. MicroStrategy in the news once again. Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy surpasses $100 billion market cap. In what is a massive moment for the company, Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy has officially surpassed the $100 billion market cap. Guys, just for a little bit of a perspective, in 2019, I believe it was, their market cap was $1 billion, and then they started putting Bitcoin on their balance sheets. So you tell me right now that Microsoft next month on December 9th is not going to vote to do the same thing that MicroStrategy is doing right now, right? The company had recently announced its $2.6 billion debt offering to buy more Bitcoin, as the market value has only increased throughout the last several weeks. The company had most recently purchased an additional $4.6 billion worth of Bitcoin. That acquisition brought the company's total holdings above 331,200 Bitcoin, worth more than $30 billion at the current price. Saylor's Bitcoin strategy was viewed by many as a key reason for the stock's performance, as the leading crypto has surged to consecutive all-time highs in the last 2 weeks. It has been an incredible 2 weeks for Bitcoin amid the 2024 election results. Seeing the country shift to a pro-crypto environment, the asset has surged to consecutive landmark prices. Currently, the asset has surpassed the $94,000 level. I think it got as high as $95,000 today. Subsequently, one of the asset's strongest defenders has surged alongside it. Inside Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy has surpassed $100 billion market cap. Moreover, the company did so on the heels of BTC accumulation strategy that has paid off in a big way. Year to date, MicroStrategy is up more than 500%. As a matter of fact, the company's shares is up almost 14% over the last 24 hours. Even before reaching the market cap landmark, the software firm had already broken into the top 100 publicly traded companies in the United States. The firm had jumped 29 places on the top 100 to currently sit at 97, highest in the country. Saylor's firm did not stop to celebrate, however, as it is seeking a $2.6 billion to purchase even more Bitcoin. Absolutely crazy, guys. I love it. I love seeing it. This is going to cause these big companies like Apple and Microsoft and so on to employ the same strategy. And you might ask, well, why do I care about that? Because it's going to pump your bags, bro. That's why you should care about that. Simply Bitcoin says US Bitcoin ETFs bought 9,000 Bitcoin today, while only 450 Bitcoin were mined. Do you see the supply shock coming here, guys? I show you the numbers. Basic elementary school math can figure out how this is going to affect the price of Bitcoin when 9,000 Bitcoin are purchased, taken off the market in a day, and only 450 were purchased, right? So crazy, guys. Absolutely crazy. My phone is giving me an Amber Alert for some reason. Anyway, yeah, getting an Amber Alert. Okay, so I don't know if you guys in America know what Amber Alert is, but I digress. All right, so what else do we got? Just in, publicly traded company Hoth Therapeutics to buy $1 million worth of Bitcoin for their treasury reserve asset. Guys, this is snowballing. It's like a freaking tsunami coming in of companies putting Bitcoin on their balance sheets. And I keep saying there's not going to be no Bitcoin left to buy. There's not going to be none left, guys. Watch Your Guru says Michael Saylor to help streamlining platform Rumble also to purchase Bitcoin for their balance sheets, guys. Right? Just when you think you've taken all the rights, I hit you with a left. Lark Davis says the corporate Bitcoin race is heating up.
Michael, Giga Chad, Giant Balls, Saylor. They bought 51,780 Bitcoin for $4.6 billion, an average price of $88,627 per Bitcoin. Holy cow. They now have like 320,000 Bitcoin over at MicroStrategy. They're on track to getting 2% of the supply. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy, man. So much Bitcoin. It's nuts. And they're not stopping there. They just announced the plan again to raise the $1.75 billion to buy more Bitcoin. This is insanity. Micro freaking strategy, man. Holy cow. Marathon Digital, major Bitcoin miner, they're buying more Bitcoin. Semler Scientific, they're $20 million more Bitcoin, only 215 Bitcoin. I know it's a little tiny amount compared to, you know, Big Balls, Sailor, and Marathon, and those others, but still, they're buying more. Meta Planet buying more Bitcoin. It's absolutely crazy what is going on right now. Mike?
I'm out of here. I got to go buy more Bitcoin. Like, how are you not bullish right now, guys? I don't even know what to say. Holy crap. All right, we have a story here. Coinbase doing shady, greasy things. Coinbase delisting wrapped Bitcoin. And you may ask, well, why? Why would Coinbase do that? Well, let's get into it and find out why they would do that. Why did Coinbase just delist wrapped Bitcoin, unveiling the controversial move? Coinbase announced it would phase out wrapped Bitcoin from its exchange, starting with suspending trading on December 19th, which was yesterday. The development left many questions. This move, particularly after the recent launch by Coinbase of its own wrapped Bitcoin on the Base blockchain. Starting to follow those breadcrumbs, are you guys? Coinbase, the leading US-based cryptocurrency exchange, said it is removing wrapped Bitcoin from its platform because it doesn't meet our listing standards. Coinbase added it routinely evaluates all assets offered on its site and removes those that fail to meet the proprietary requirements. That diligence led Coinbase to conclude it would suspend the trading of wrapped Bitcoin effective approximately 12 p.m. on December 19th, 2024. Wrapped Bitcoin is, simply put, a token that lets users utilize Bitcoin on other blockchains like Ethereum, or wrapping the same to represent Bitcoin value on the Ethereum network. While wrapped Bitcoin has been popular, particularly in decentralized finance, it has come under the microscope in recent months. One aspect of this decision by Coinbase, quite interesting, is the fact that it is being made close to the launch of Coinbase's own version of wrapped Bitcoin, called CBBTC. This is one of the layer 2 networks called Base, on which Coinbase has been working, providing an alternative to wrapped Bitcoin, especially in the ever-growing decentralized finance space. CBBTC would be the closest alternative offered by Coinbase. Coinbase's CBBTC is being marketed as a direct competitor to wrapped Bitcoin, which in large part is custodial. That is, Bitcoin is always custodied by a centralized party, BitGo, to facilitate its use of Ethereum on other blockchains. Coinbase is basically offering wrapped Bitcoin that it is natively tied to the platform, and in some respects raises questions on its very competitive edge against wrapped Bitcoin offerings. Concerns around wrapped Bitcoin custody structure. It is also tied to the fact that there have been recent concerns about the custodial structure behind the token. The company responsible for the custody of wrapped Bitcoin has recently gone into a joint venture with Bit Global, a custodian owned partly by cryptocurrency figure Justin Sun. The partnership raised alarms among some sectors within the cryptocurrency community, as their reputation is suspect within the industry. Yes, Justin Sun's reputation is most definitely suspect. However, BitGo CEO Mike Belch came to the defense of the collaboration, stating his arguments while saying that critics were made aware with wrong information about Sun. According to Belchi, Bit Global has its legal structure that regulates the stakeholding to no more than 20% for one individual and decentralizes the custodian's operations. In addition, the keys for wrapped BTC custody would be split between multiple parties to ensure security, as highlighted by Belchi. Now, here's the thing with Justin Sun, guys, is he claims that Tron is a decentralized project, but then it's supposed to operate via DAO, similar to Onyx Coin, right? Where the community makes decisions like how money is spent from the treasury and stuff like that, for example. And a truly decentralized project dictates that you cannot do anything with treasury money or anything else if it is not voted on by the community via the DAO. However, Justin Sun does have a habit of just taking money whenever he freaking wants without a vote or anything. I did a story covering that about 2 months ago, actually. Belshie has also been pretty vocal about Coinbase's CBBTC, arguing that the token is way too centralized and could be ruinous to the more decentralized ideals of the broader DeFi space. The Coinbase executive added in the pointed critique, if the DeFi community picks central bank Coinbase as the ultimate steward, then I think all DeFi hope should be lost. In his opinion, the centralization of Coinbase approach to wrapping Bitcoin could be an antithetical to the values of the decentralized finance. The decision by Coinbase to delist wrap Bitcoin on its platform in tandem with the launch of CBBTC heralds the dawn of a new era in wrapped Bitcoin. It is more apparent that competition among cryptocurrency exchanges and projects has grown. So here's the thing for me, guys. While I do agree that Justin Sun is kind of a shady individual, I think we need, this is one of the reasons we need regulations, okay? Because it should be illegal for an exchange to launch a project that competes with something that's listed on their platform and then delist their direct competition. That's market manipulation, right? You're removing competition so that your customers only have one option, your option, right? That is illegal. That should be illegal. That's not okay. We see it with people are worried about it when it comes to JASMY and Binance. Very similar thing, right? So if this is the case, like if exchanges are going to try to hold projects down and FUD them and delist them and cause negativity in that project's finance, that is market manipulation. So Coinbase, I think, is walking on some very, very dangerous. They're skating on thin ice with hot blades here, in my opinion, right? Because that is market manipulation, in my opinion, right? So with new regulations coming in, I think exchanges are going to have to start to be a little bit more careful about doing this kind of thing, right? It's greasy behavior, in my opinion. So, all right, what else do we got? Check this out. We got Brad Garlinghouse over on Fox. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse says the Biden administration has been waging an unlawful war on crypto.
Welcome back. Bitcoin has been on fire. Take a look at Bitcoin this morning at 93,761. The cryptocurrency touching a new all-time high of about $94,000 yesterday. As the Trump rally continues, Trump Media and Technology Group also reportedly in advanced talks to acquire crypto exchange Bakkt. Bakkt says it does not comment on, quote, market rumors or speculation. The acquisition would mark Trump's latest move into the world of crypto after promising to explore crypto-friendly policies on the campaign trail. Joining me now is the CEO of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse. Brad, great to see you.
Very good to see you.
Thanks so much for being here. Tell us how Ripple fits into this whole crypto framework that we're actually understanding better and better recently.
So from the earliest days, Ripple has been focused on solving the problem around cross-border payments. It's slow, it's expensive, and we use a digital asset called XRP to help speed that up, make it very inexpensive and very reliable. But the challenge, as you know well, is the U.S. has had this very hostile. The Biden administration has been waging a war on crypto, and I think an unlawful war. Courts have agreed with us on that. And we're finally seeing that kind of unlocked in a Trump embraced crypto and crypto embraced Trump. And I think we're seeing that reflect in kind of how the markets have reacted since the election.
So for Ripple, do you think that this also unlocks new revenue opportunities for you in the U.S.? Because I know the customer base largely outside the U.S.
You're exactly right. The United States SEC filed a lawsuit about what is XRP 4 years ago. And so it kind of froze the U.S. market opportunity for us. If you're a U.S. bank or U.S. financial institution, you're like, let's just wait and see how this plays out. So 95% of our customers are outside the United States. And finally, I think we're at a point where we can actually see growth and see the crypto industry thrive here in the United States. The largest economy in the world has really been leaning out of the crypto economy.
And giving it up to China.
There's no question. Like, it's growing in the UK, it's growing in Japan, it's growing in Switzerland. I mean, these are big economies that are leaning, the US really has been the outlier in many ways.
Yeah, it's a great point. So talk to us about your outlook for crypto under the Trump administration and this deregulation that Trump is underway, thinking about and talking about. Look, he's been putting together a cabinet. We still don't have his idea on a Securities and Exchange Commission head, CFTC head. All of these agencies want a piece of you, want a piece of the crypto industry. They all want to have some kind of a regulatory, role here. Do you think you get more clarity under the Trump administration on who's running things?
Yes, we want them to have a role. And as you know well, one of the biggest problems the crypto industry has had isn't the idea there's too much regulation. It's just the regulation's not even clear. We're trying to apply laws from literally 1946, a famous Supreme Court case called the Howey test. So we're trying to apply that to a digital asset industry that's been developed in the last 10, 15, 20 years. And so it just doesn't fit. And I think as we bring this new, really the Trump cabinet to bear, getting those clear rules, which we've been asking for under the Biden administration for years, I think we're finally going to get that clarity, which will help the U.S. lead again. And I think, Trump talks about making America great again. I think he's going to make crypto great again in the United States.
No, he certainly talks about it a lot and wants more in terms of the U.S. role in that. Trump reportedly meeting privately with the CEO of Coinbase, Brian Armstrong, on Monday to discuss key appointments for the second Trump administration. So Fox Business's Edward Lawrence spoke to Coinbase chief policy officer about that meeting. Watch this.
We're gratified by the degree that the Trump team has had an open door with us and given us an opportunity to talk about our vision about crypto and to see them ultimately adopt much of that. We're very excited to do our part to fulfill the president's vision of making the U.S. a crypto and digital asset leader of the world. There's a lot of work to be done. There was a lot of damage done over the last 4 years that all of us in the industry and working with our policymakers can kind of get going on to restore the U.S.'s position as a global leader.
Well, I'll tell you, I think it would speak volumes if Trump put in a crypto expert in the SEC. That would be unbelievable. Or CFTC. Where does Coinbase fit into all of this?
I mean, Coinbase has been a really important voice in this. I think, three key players came together during this election cycle. Coinbase, Ripple, and Andreessen Horowitz came together to really make sure that crypto was front foot on the agenda. And I think we will get someone at the SEC who is very familiar with crypto. There's a couple names still in the mix that I think are very strong candidates. And the nice thing is these are people who don't go in with we're going to attack this industry. And it really did turn out to be, at a minimum, unethical and a maximum unlawful. And again, federal courts are saying that, not just Brad Garlinghouse.
Right. And Trump has talked about the stablecoin industry as well. You're about to launch a stablecoin. Is that right?
We are indeed. Ripple announced not too long ago, we're announcing something called RLUSD or Ripple USD. The stablecoin market now is about $180 billion. And the largest player is called Tether. We think there's an opportunity for the Ripple of the world. We're an institutional use case, selling into banks, solving that cross-border, and really making payments cheaper, faster. We think this is a perfect use case of these technologies.
I can understand because slowly but surely you're seeing financial services get it and start implementing crypto, stable coins in their businesses. Trump, of course, has vowed to fire SEC Chairman Gary Gensler on day one. He said day one. And Gensler has recently signaled that he may soon resign after President-elect Trump's massive election win. Here's a look at some of the rumored contenders Trump is considering for the chairman of the SEC, Brad. And I want to get your take on what's the most important thing that person should do in the early days of this new role at the SEC, should one of these folks get them.
I think working with Congress and identifying here's the gaps in the existing laws that create the confusion. I think, I don't know all those candidates personally, but there's a bunch of very strong candidates up there that I think aren't going to pretend that, hey, the rules are clear. Gary Gensler would testify in front of Congress and literally say the rules are clear, but in the next sentence, he wouldn't answer the question, is ETH a security? So to me, it's just this, head in the sand. It's a new dawn for crypto in the United States. And I think we really can make this the heartbeat of the crypto and blockchain industry in the next 5 or 10 years.
For so many people, they feel like the people who are writing these rules, writing the framework for crypto, actually don't understand it. I mean, do you think Gary Gensler actually understands the crypto business?
You know, one of the most frustrating things about Gary Gensler, he actually taught classes at MIT about crypto. And if you watch the videos of him teaching these classes, and then you listen to him after he became the chair of the SEC under Elizabeth Warren's kind of guidance.
Oh, I see where you're going.
It was a night and day difference. And so
he is smart, he understands, but he's political.
Extremely, and hypocritical.
Yeah.
You know, look, literally the federal courts were calling the SEC under his leadership, these are exact quotes, arbitrary and capricious, failing to follow a faithful allegiance to the law.
Wow.
They were even sanctioned in one case in Utah, that the SEC was sanctioned by a federal judge. This is not what we want from our government institutions, to work for the people and to actually protect investors.
All right, we will leave it there. Brad, great to see you.
Great to see you.
Thanks so much. Great insight from you, Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple.
Brad Garlinghouse absolutely destroying Gary Gensler on national television is something I will get up for 7 days a week, baby. Coinbase wallet says introducing USDC rewards on the Coinbase wallet. Now, I'll bring this up, guys, because we were having a discussion on the Patreon last night about DeFi staking on stable coins, on DeFi plays and stuff like that, right? So very big, and you know, we're talking about basically the best utilization of your capital through the bear market when you're waiting to redeploy it into crypto when we bottom out in the bear market. But what do you do for that 12-ish months with your capital to keep it safe? Well, I mean, one of the options is to DeFi stake in stablecoin and gain APY, but where will you get the best APY is a question. That is another thing that we will be working on over on the Patreon, guys. So get over there. You're missing out on opportunities to make that passive income. All right, what do we got? Tyler says, one thing I noticed in the 2020-2021 bull market was everyone being overly bullish, risk being completely ignored, and moon talk was the overwhelming majority. The entire run that started in 2023 and even now, I am seeing the complete opposite. People are scared, overcome by fear at every turn. PTSD from the bear market has never been at these levels. People are looking for tops at every pump. It's been this way the entire run from 16,000 to 94,000 per Bitcoin. Higher, much higher. I agree with Tyler on that one. French Hill talking today in Congress as well via regulations, guys.
Under the Obama and Biden administration, we instead saw the government was weaponized. And this committee on both sides of the aisle have talked about Operation Choke Point. We talked about people's individual rights on firearms and firearm-related businesses in your previous tour with the Obama administration. And in this administration, we've had conversation after conversation about digital assets being debanked by the Biden-Harris administration. So much so that even Ranking Member Waters said the following: on Operation Choke Point, I don't believe an American citizen should have their bank accounts closed down and nobody tells them why, or you have nowhere to appeal. So I know we can work with Republicans on something like that. And I agree, no one thinks this is fair. And I hope, Madam Ranking Member, we can work on that. Mr. Grunberg, do you agree with what Ranking Member Waters' statement?
I certainly, well, the short answer is yes. And I would say for any time an account is closed, we have a policy at the FDIC of notifying the institution and providing an explanation in writing as to why that's occurred, as well as the legal basis for the action.
Do you have any evidence that the FDIC examiners have attempted to use verbal direction to banks about digital asset debanking to avoid the Freedom of Information Act?
Congressman, not that I'm aware of.
Yield back, Mr. Chairman.
I may do a video streaming the entire hearing today, guys. It's very, very important information. Let me know in the chat if you guys want me to do that. If you want to watch the hearing in its entirety, let me know. ARK Invest bought another $267 worth of Bitcoin today. Guys, it just keeps on going. Let's listen to Maxine Waters, guys. We got to listen to the other side too, right? As much as this woman makes me cringe, listen to how little she actually knows and how bought she is.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Vice Chair Barr, Chair Grunberg, Chair Harper, and Acting Comptroller Sue, I want to thank each of you and all of your hard-working government employees for the great work you've done to strengthen our nation's financial system coming out of the pandemic. It is much more difficult to build something strong, as each of you have done, than it is to basically tear something down. I'm concerned about what the next 4 years will bring. Trump
glorious
promised the
wealth.
American people that he would bring down inflation and strengthen the economy. But Matt Gaetz, a man investigated by the Department of Justice for sex trafficking and the subject of a lawsuit, not to mention a supposedly scathing ethics committee report, is Trump's nominee to lead the Justice Department. While my Republican colleagues have demanded that the FDIC chair resign and release a report late last night about the cultural problems at the agency, they have been eerily silent about Matt Gaetz' candidacy. To be clear, Matt Gaetz is accused of having sex with a 17-year-old girl, taking this 17-year-old girl across state lines for sex, and paying this 17-year-old girl for sex.
Okay, I can't listen to this broad anymore. Sorry, guys. Can't listen to Maxine Waters. She's awful. She's awful, and you guys probably don't like it either. Upbit, guys, look at this. If you are a Bonk holder, Bonk now supported and listed on Upbit Korea. Again, we talked about it earlier, guys. Over 9 million users, the largest exchange in Korea. Very bullish for Bonk. Got listed over there, same as JASMY. All right, so we covered that. Okay, so let's get into another article here, guys. Let's get into another article. Bitcoin. Google suggests users buy Bitcoin. Yes, you heard that right. A surprising trend has emerged on Google. When users start typing in how to, the autocomplete pops up buy Bitcoin. The search results suggestions are not limited to Bitcoin, as the search giant has also shown crypto, meme coins, and XRP, among others. As you can see, how to, and then it says buy Bitcoin, how to buy chill guy coin, how to buy crypto, how to buy stocks, how to buy meme coins, how to buy XRP. Very, very interesting. This phenomenon has sparked conversation about the growing mainstream target in cryptocurrency as Bitcoin rides a wave of popularity during the bull cycle. Google's autocomplete feature generates suggestions based on real searches, trends, and user behavior. According to Google policies, these predictions on search queries are influenced by factors such as the language of the query, location, trending topics, and individual search histories. As Bitcoin and cryptocurrency topics surge in popularity, this suggestion reflects the massive global interest in digital assets. The prediction is not Google explicitly endorsing Bitcoin, but a reflection of collective user intent and trending searches. Autocomplete is a time-saving tool meant to help users quickly complete their intended searches, aligning with real-time interest spikes rather than promoting specific ideas or actions. The emergence of buy Bitcoin as a top suggestion highlights a bullish sentiment in the crypto market. With Bitcoin in a potential rally phase, more people are seeking information, signaling a growing mainstream curiosity. Google's autocomplete is merely a mirror of the global zeitgeist, emphasized that the cryptocurrencies are once again at the forefront of global attention. While this trend is fascinating, users are encouraged to conduct thorough research before making investment decisions. Very interesting, though, that Google's doing this, guys. it is showing me that they're trying to onboard more users or more people to buy Bitcoin, because guess what? Google probably holds Bitcoin, the bigwigs. Michael Saylor, Bitcoin is something everybody needs. Nobody can stop a few, and few understand.
Any company that simply had a large portion of their assets in Bitcoin is getting 435%. MicroStrategy levered up by borrowing cheap debt and buying Bitcoin, and therefore we do better. Now, if you had asked someone, is a $500 million company growing 0% a year in August of 2020, are they going to beat every one of these companies' performance? People would have said, no stinking way. Right? And the truth is, it's not us. It's Bitcoin. Stop bleeding the patient. The patient mortality rates plunge when you stop bleeding the patient and when you sterilize the equipment you use to operate on them, right? It's basic medicine. Eliminate the toxicity. So what's the best tech investment? Bitcoin's the best tech investment. The best tech investment, an investment in something everybody needs, no one can stop, few understand. Apple in 2010, Amazon, Facebook, Google. Everybody needs it, nobody can stop it, people don't understand it. If people agree with you when you say I like Bitcoin, that means it's not a good investment anymore. You understand? At the point when it's not controversial and everybody agrees with you, everybody will own it, the price will be 100x. You won't be able to afford to buy 1% of what you want, right? You want to know it. You don't want them to understand it. Let them take 10 years to figure it out, because that's how you 100x.
I love it.
What's the best new investment idea? Bitcoin's the best new investment idea. Okay, financial advisors, they're looking for an alternative investment that's going to provide performance without direct correlation to risk, right? And they've been stuck in a rut for 30 years, right? This is JP Morgan's family office survey. What do people own? They own some private equity, some public equity, some real estate, some cash, some bonds, some commodities, infrastructure. You notice commodities are the least popular. A lot of people just think it's a no-fly zone. The other stuff are pretty conventional. But coming back to this chart, you know, I think this is probably also JP Morgan. None of these assets are beating the monetary inflation rate. You just feel smart because you tell yourself the inflation rate is the consumer inflation. But for the most part, the screaming winners are 1% better. Nobody's got a great solution, right? You can either do really awful, or you can just, keep your wealth without generating any more. Nobody can outperform inflation. So what do they invest in? Well, these family offices, this is capital weighted. They put 45% of their capital into alternative investments. They don't want to hold public equity. Their view is public equity is fully valued. They certainly don't want to own bonds, right? So much for the 60-40 portfolio. Their portfolio is not 60-40. They want something else. And something else is more like real estate or something private or some special situation. But what's the best alternative investment? Bitcoin's the best alternative investment, right? What's the second best? There is no second best. There's hundreds of thousands of financial advisors, and every wealthy family in the world is looking for the best alternative asset. Okay, why is Bitcoin the best alternative asset? Well, just a little bit of inspection will demonstrate that it's uncorrelated to currencies, corporations, or counterparties. No corporate execution risk, no currency debasement risk, and none of the counterparty risk that comes with bonds and credit and the like. What is it? It's global, it's non-sovereign, it's a store of value. It's liquid. Buying a building in San Francisco is not liquid. You can't buy it in a minute. You can't sell it on the weekend. And the truth is, and this is the irony of ironies, everybody thinks Bitcoin is risky because it's volatile. It's volatile because it's not risky. It's the lowest risk thing you can own in the world because it's the thing that has the most risk stripped away. The reason it's volatile, it's that it's the most desirable, most accessible thing, which means that everybody else is expressing their sentiment and their emotions every minute of the day, everywhere in the world, however they wish to. And why is it the best alternative asset? Because it's the longest duration asset, right? You buy a building on the beach, it'll last for 30 years. Do you want to buy a building in Manhattan that's good for 50 years or whatever? Or do you want to buy the granite or the schist under Manhattan that's been there for 200 million years? Buy 100 blocks of granite in Manhattan, right? Don't get caught up in the building, the zoning, the corporation, the parties, the conferences, and the whatever. When Howard Hughes came to Las Vegas, he looked around and he bought all the land. He bought so much land that they're still building on the land that Howard Hughes bought, and he's been dead 50 years. Summerlin, it's all Howard Hughes. Everything he did, he looked and he's like, oh, if this is going to work, I'm just going to buy all the land because I don't know which casino will work, right? The land's still here. The casinos are gone. The restaurants are gone. The politicians have come and gone. Every other good idea is gone. They built, you know, it used to be the Mirage was cool. Treasure Island was cool, the Bellagio was cool, the Wynn was cool, the Encore was cool. Here we are in some cool place. The land's still here. Buy the land. That's the alternative asset. And of course, that makes Bitcoin the best asset class. It's an entire ecosystem of products, services, companies, securities, derivatives, and professions. It's the global digital asset network. It's the internet of money.
Absolutely, guys. Absolutely. Let's go have a look over at Jasmy's climbing back up. Told you Jasmy would start to recover. We're recovering. We bounced right off the 30-day SMA there, and we're wicking our way back up again. So let's get our way back inside the symmetrical triangle here. And this is one wacky, crazy candle, guys. One crazy candle. Holy smokes. All right, let's get into the chat. See what everybody's talking about. WF Capital in the house. What's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Guys, as always, please hit the like, hit the subscribe button. It really does help the channel grow. It means everything. We'd love to have you join our community. We actually only need, right now, we only need 4 subscribers, guys. 4 to push us up over 6,800 subs. So if you're watching, whether you're watching live or you're watching a replay, hit the subscribe button, guys. Help push us up over 6,800 subs. It would be absolutely amazing if you would do that. Be that guy. All right, what else do we got? TC Muse, welcome to the member side, my friend. It's good to have you. Welcome to the family. Yo, ho, ho, Mary Bitmiss. Dumb Money, what's up, buddy? Looks as if this is another day to DCA. Absolutely, man. Batlander, what's going on, man? Bruno's in the house. Good to see you. Creed, what's up, buddy? Hello, Rob and y'all. Caught the stream without the notification. About 50 seconds to go. Nice. Here's the thing, man. So, guys, I know that YouTube is not doing very well at giving notifications. So, we are live every day, twice a day, 7 days a week. 1 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Central, Canada time, so U.S. time, you know. So if you want to catch the live streams, we are live consistently twice a day, every day at that time, 7 days a week. So, William, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Nothing but the North talk. Good afternoon. Let's shut them down, those negative idiots. Jasmy will be removed from Binance Innovation Zone. Yes, absolutely, man. Swift standing strong. Yes, Swift is. Swift is still green. It's up 6% while the market's red. Jetpack, what's up, man? Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. We don't want no big red. Yeah, exactly. Ain't nobody got time for that. Big Kev in the house. What's up, buddy? Reese, I already read that one. Shane, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Beebs, Scam. What's up, brother? I can feel it, Beebs. Think it's got anything to do with the earnings and NVIDIA? Oh, yeah, I addressed that. I think the market's probably going to pump off of that, especially AI. I think it's going to be a pretty good earnings call. I hope, anyway. Where does Jasmy need to hold on this current pullback? As long as we, I mean, what matters is where we close our candle, okay? Now, it would be super bullish if we wicked back up inside the symmetrical triangle here, but it isn't, end all be all either, right? I would like to see us close above where we are right now. We're at 2 cents. Now, the 2 cent 003, that is the 100-day SMA. So I would like to see us close above the 100-day SMA, that purple line that it is sitting on right now, which we are above. So as long as we close above there, for me, I will be happy with that. Les, good morning, brother. Good to see him. Good to see you, man. Batlander. Inc. Is Binance the reason? I'm not aware of any news from Binance. I'm not aware of any news from Binance, so you'd have to let me know what's up with that. Balaclav man, what's the reason for Jasmy's dip? Just following BTC? Yeah, it's right now Bitcoin is just sucking the oxygen out of the room, right? All the liquidity is starting to flow into Bitcoin, which happened in 2020 as well in November. And then we saw a very, very sharp V-shaped recovery immediately after that in the altcoins. So XCN in the house, absolutely, man. Just waiting. Hangman, what's up, buddy? Who's bearish on crypto? Must be a Democrat. Looks like it's big picture here. The president of the United States is probably, yes, buying a crypto exchange. 100%, man. BTC adoption, go crazy. Can't wait to see how things go. Yeah, it's going to be so fun, guys. It's going to be so fun to be on the other side of that coin, right? Instead of being those people that are sitting there going, oh, why didn't I buy any of that before it was adopted globally? We're going to be the ones going, yeah, we got it early, man, Jasmy, a good buy right now? Yes, it is, in my opinion, a good dollar cost average buy right now. Brandon, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Richie Rich, the other day on the PBD podcast, the sailor said he believes Bitcoin will hit $13 million per coin in 21 years. Yeah, I'll be out at 1 million, though. I'm going to sell my Bitcoin when it hits $1 million. 21 years from now, I mean, I'll be 60, 64. I don't care about that. I want to live the rest of my life happy. Death Bank in the house. What's up, man? Sam, good to see you, man. Good to see you. Good day to be alive. Absolutely. Buy the Trump Pepe with the red hat. It's been going nuts. Nice. Not financial advice, right, brother? Beebs, XLM is holding its own. Is it? Is XLM holding strong? Swift's pumping again, too. XLM. Where is XLM? Oh, yeah. It's holding strong. Holding strong. Amon, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Good to see you. Still hoping for the Golden Cross next week? Yes. Yes, I am. That Golden Cross is inevitable. It's not a matter of if it's going to happen. It's a matter that it is going to happen, right? In fact, to be perfectly honest with you, we're going to be looking at, in the next little while, probably the next 2 months, 2 Golden Crosses. We're going to have the 30-day SMA pass back over the 100-day SMA here. And if you look up here, we're still well below the 200-day SMA. So we're going to have another Golden Cross eventually. Eventually, this 30-day SMA is going to work its way up, and it will eventually, not that sharply, but it will eventually cross over the 200-day SMA as well. So we will have 2 Golden Crosses actually happen in the next couple of months. So, John, blessings, my friend. Crow and H-Bar were big surprise. I still have 500K Jasmy. Nice. Yes, I know you've been holding those bags, my friend. Congratulations on those. They've been doing pretty good. Also, any chance you could have a look at link, please? Reese, yes, absolutely, I can. There's actually a tab at the top of the thing that for altcoin requests. Mr. Streams, always rewatching them. Good to see you. Yeah, I notice you're only here once in a while, my friend, but I understand. People got to work. People have lives. Like, life gets in the way. I appreciate the fact that you watch the replays of them, though, my friend. That is absolutely awesome. And yeah, I try to make it easy. That's why I say, consistently every single day I'm live 7 days a week. 1 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Central. And that way we don't have to rely on YouTube notifications. We can just rely on, the schedule kind of thing, right? So absolutely, man. Absolutely, my brother. So yeah, guys, like I said, we only need 4 subscribers, guys, 4 to hit our goal of 6,800 subs. So definitely hit the subscribe button to help push us up over that level. Take care, Rob. Thanks for the news and updates. My brother, anytime, man, anytime. All right, guys. So look, that's the news. That's the chat. Oh, hang on. I'm on. Watch the Zoom meeting discussing Miria. The woman was freaking out. Price was dumping. I felt sorry for her emotions. Yeah. Some people are more emotional than others, my friend. But I try to help everybody, right? So yeah, that's the news. That's the chat, guys. Listen, if you want to know what he's talking about, every single day over on the Patreon, we do group Zoom calls where we get together. We talk about the latest and greatest in crypto. We talk about compounding gains. Last night we had a very, very good conversation about operating nodes and DeFi staking for passive income. If you want to learn how to do that stuff, guys, get over to the Patreon. I also uploaded a video talking about how to be proactive with your bank to avoid your bank freezing your accounts. Listen, there's nothing worse than making life-changing wealth in crypto, transferring your money to your bank account from a crypto exchange and having your bank freeze your account saying suspicious activity because your history doesn't consist of 6 figures, and then they make you jump through a year or so worth of hoops to get your money, right? They start making you get paperwork for all your transactions from exchanges. It becomes a real nuisance. So if you want to avoid these problems, guys, get over to the Patreon. You can also schedule one-on-ones with me where I can help you with your portfolio structure, creating your exit strategies and your profit taking, compounding your gains to make more money. So get over to the Patreon, guys, and join the Zoom calls as well. I will be live over on the Patreon later this afternoon. So I will see you guys over there. The link is in the pinned comments. It's in the description and it's in the chat. So I will see you guys on the Patreon in a couple of hours. Deuces.